All right, let's move on to the night game on Thanksgiving. We got the 6-4 Buffalo Bills coming off of an embarrassing loss to the Indianapolis Colts, taking on the 5-5 New Orleans Saints, who also had a loss against the Eagles on Sunday. So, with that being said, Puma, this is your team. You love Josh Allen and the Bills. So, who do you got winning this game, man?
Oh, God, I mean, this game is a toss up because you look at the Bills and you would have thought they were rounding the corner against the Jets 2 weeks ago, and man, that came down to a crashing halt against the Indianapolis Colts. Jonathan Taylor running wild. I think what do you have, Burge? Like 180 plus yards, five total
Five
touchdowns.
My fantasy team was in pain after that.
Yeah, Carson Wentz didn't have to really do a whole lot back there. And like the defense, they were getting a lot of push against the offensive line and Josh Allen on the offensive side of the football. And I really don't know what to make of it because like the Jonathan Taylor stuff, like, okay, Tremaine Edmonds was inactive. I know he's a big part of that defense. He's a jack of all trades type of dude. But I mean, I really don't know what the excuse was for the offense. I mean, they were down big. They couldn't even establish the run to take some of the heat off of Josh and kind of get into rhythm. They had to throw from behind the entire game. Bad ball handling. I get it. The weather, it was raining up in Buffalo, but you literally play in Old Orchard Park. Like, you should know. Like, if it's going to be slick out there, we need to protect the football. And there was one fumble where the lineman tried to recover it, and it just shot out of him out the side like he had Vaseline on the football. And somehow they were able to recover it, but it was just a bad performance. Then on the other side of the football, Alvin Kamara might not play. Mark Ingram was on the injury list today. I think he didn't practice today. Alan Troutman. He's on injured reserve. There's a lot, like the Saints are the walking wounded. Simeon is not really getting the job done. I mean, the Buffalo Bills are favored by 6 points going into New Orleans.
Yeah, that's a big number.
I'm going with the Bills to win, but I mean, I might be going with the Saints to cover the 6. Like, I think it's going to be a close game. I think Buffalo could win outright in this one, but I don't feel confident, and honestly, I don't feel confident in that pick. This team is super inconsistent. 4 or 5 weeks ago, we were talking about the Bills being the class of the AFC, possibly having the AFC Championship game go through Buffalo, and right now they're in free fall. They're one of the bottom wild card teams at the moment because of how competitive this AFC is. They really need to win this game. Like, if they lose this game, the wall's going to start be closing in. Mm-hmm. They have that big matchup against New England in 2 weeks.
They already have.
Like, they need to win this game against the Saints, regardless of if you cover the spread or not. But like I said, Buffalo wins outright. I think New Orleans right now finds a way to cover the 6.
Puma, this is a little bit low-key must-win game for the Bills right now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it isn't low-key. It is a must-win at this point.
The Sharks are circling, just like the Sharks are circling in Cleveland for Baker. This is a different kind of circling because of how it's going to pan out with the rest of the year. But, you got people like Burge and half of New England's, shitty takes finally catch up with the reality of what Josh Allen and the Bills are. And it's going to be a must-win game for these guys on Thursday night. With that being said, Burge, let's bring in the resident Bills hater. Sir, what do you got to say about this?
It's not a shitty take if it's been right all year. I'm just going to say that. Look, I've been on record about this with the Buffalo Bills since heck, last season even. This team was going to take a major step back this year. Josh Allen is going to take a step back this year, and it's coming right out to fruition here. In November. The Bills cannot run the ball. They don't have a running game, and you can say that they're not establishing the run. They just can't do it. They're losing all the battles at the line of scrimmage. They're relying way too much on Josh Allen, and he's just not that guy that is able to carry the entire offense. And we've seen it even with the Patriots teams in the past when they kind of fizzled out late in the seasons, in the playoffs and stuff. You have to be balanced on offense, and they have zero balance. They're asking Josh Allen to do way too much, and he ends up throwing the ball to the other team. And I've been so on about this all season, and I feel like it's starting to finally come full circle. Obviously, there's still a lot of football left to be played, and there's a lot of key matchups in December. But as it stands today, November 23rd, this Bills team is falling apart. I was so happy. I happier on Sunday than I was watching even without the Patriots playing. Like, it was just great watching the Colts and Jonathan Taylor just run all over him, all over the Buffalo Bills, just knowing that that's the identity of the Patriots, and they're gonna try to do the exact same thing against this Bill team in 2 weeks and next month when they come to Foxborough. This Saints game absolutely is a must-win for the Buffalo Bills. Their schedule gets so much harder, down the stretch here. They got to play, obviously, the two matchups with New England. They still have to play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Tampa in December, and don't sleep on the Carolina Panthers going up to Buffalo to play them. Cam Newton, since he's come back for them, has actually played really well, fitting into that offense down in Carolina. I know they didn't win this past weekend, but they've looked pretty good. So yeah, absolutely a must-win game for the Buffalo Bills. The Saints have their own share of problems with the injuries. Alvin Kamara, again, may miss this game. It sounds like Mark Ingram is a strong possibility to miss this game too. So you're asking a heck of a lot out of Trevor Siemian here, in primetime on Thanksgiving to beat a Buffalo team that, has beat up on bad teams this year. Buffalo's only good win this season came against Kansas City. And, the rest of the games they've struggled or they've lost. And this seems like this could be a situation where Buffalo could end up beating up on a bad team in the Saints being, so shorthanded that they could be. I like New Orleans to cover the 6 points here. I think it's going to be a close game. If I was a gambler on sports, man, I would not be going anywhere near this game. But I think the Bills will end up squeaking it out, but New Orleans definitely will cover, just like you said, Puma. Parker loves the Saints in this game.
Oh, there we go. No, listen, I'll be real with you 100% and really being as honest and objective as possible. I do think Josh Allen has regressed a little bit this year. We thought that he was going to, essentially just ride out the MVP level of play last year into this year. But at the moment, he has not. We're looking at some of these stats, and they're all over the place. I mean, yeah, he's had some good games, but a lot of these stats you're looking at, he has 51% completion against the Dolphins, 58 against the Steelers, 57 against the Chiefs. Yeah, he won that game, sure. Close to 60% against the Colts. It seems like you're not getting a very level, consistent play with the Bills, and obviously I don't watch those guys every week, so I don't know exactly why that is. But if I'm you, Puma, and I'm a little bit of a Josh Allen fan as well, I'm a little concerned. I'm a little concerned to see what's happening with this team, the fact that they can't put it all together, and walking into New Orleans on Thanksgiving night. I mean, we joke about it, but Trevor Siemian did beat Tom Brady and the Buccaneers in that Superdome, right? That place gets so loud, it gets so charged, anything can happen. I wouldn't be shocked one bit if the Saints, pull off the upset against the Bills. But I'm going with the Bills for now, just because I know they need it more. Hopefully that, the fact that they need it is going to essentially give them more attention to the game, and hopefully they'll come out with guns a-blazing and beat the Saints. But right now, I'm a little concerned about the Bills going forward, man.
Yeah, I mean, real quick, if you go look at the Saints and the Eagles tape last week, you really, if you're Brian Daboll and you're Josh Allen, you're going to want to recreate what Jalen Hurts did against the New Orleans Saints, where he rushed for, I believe it was like 78 yards and 3 touchdowns. Like, you don't need Josh Allen to rush for 100 yards. But, like, if you, get some design runs going, start trying to get some sort of tempo, don't have Josh throw the football 45 times, because we've seen over the course of the year, like you pointed out, Jay, throwing the football this year has been a little bit of an adventure in all facets of the game for the Buffalo Bills. So try to, if you can't establish the run with Zach Moss and Devin Singletary, then you are going to need to try to manufacture some moving the chains on the ground with Josh Allen's legs. I mean, personally, I think they can do it. I think really they're going to have to if they really want to have a chance in winning this game. But they're going to have to cut it loose. Like, they're going to have to throw the kitchen sink against let's be honest, a walking wounded New Orleans Saints team. And who would have thought we'd be saying that about the Buffalo Bills at this point of the season?
Well, if Josh Allen can replicate what Justin Herbert did on Sunday night with just the way he was able to manage the game via the passing attack and using his legs, because he ended up with 382 yards through the air and then 90 yards on the ground, especially when they were playing, man-to-man, they left the middle of the field wide open. If he can just kind of do that, where, he picks and chooses where he runs instead of doing designed runs, I think that would be most beneficial for that game plan going into the Thunderdome.
No, I agree with you, Jay, because there's no part of me that thinks that the Bills are capable of, rolling out like somebody like Miles Sanders, 16 carries, 94 yards. You obviously had Jalen Hurts in there for 69, 3 touchdowns, and then Jordan Howard also had 10 carries for 63 yards. I don't think that Moss and Singletary are capable of doing what Howard and Sanders did last week. I just don't think that the Bills are good enough in the running game to do that. But that being said, your formula from what Justin Herbert did Sunday night against the Steelers would be the way to do it, where throw the ball all over the place and pick and choose where you're going to take off with the ball.